There are a lot of people less qualified than you doing the things you want to do simply because they decided to believe in themselves. Can you believe it? This is our 7th episode of Dragonfly Soup. I'm Linda Watson-Call. Thank you for joining me today, and thank you for all the likes and shares you've given this series. It really feels so good. Let me ask you a question. Do you truly believe, that you can do or be anything you want? Do you wish you could do things differently, have a different life, career, or something else? Well, you can. You know that, right? Oh no. Do I hear a reason why you can't? A good reason is nothing more than an excuse. Benjamin Franklin once said, "He that is good for making excuses is seldom good for anything else." We know we would like to do something, but something stops us. So we come up with an excuse, and often a very creative excuse at that. Did you ever wonder what's stopping you, stopping me from taking the next step to move forward in our lives? It's fear. And fear can show up in a number of different ways. We're afraid we won't succeed, or if we do, we've just raised our bar. We have an idea of what we'd like to do, but we're afraid that we won't have the time, or we won't have the money to spend on this idea. Excuses can go on forever if we let them, but in the meantime, we're living a life that we are not happy with. We really we really want to have something better. Most of us suffer from the what-if syndrome. Maybe there is a job opening in your company that you'd really like, and you think, if I apply for that position and don't get it, well, if I do apply, I won't tell anyone, so if I don't get it, no one will be the wiser. Or you've always admired beautiful gardens, the ones in the magazines with the huge flower gardens, the gorgeous flowers, the paver stones, and a small bench where you can sit and relax. And then you think, what if I did all that work and nothing grew? Or you'd like to play a new sport, maybe golf. Several of your friends play, and it seems like they have a lot of fun. And then you think, well, what if I'm too old? What if I'm uncoordinated? And what if I make a fool of myself? So you make up excuses for not trying, and you do nothing, except maybe wish that it was different. There are ways to make the what-ifs and the fear that we feel disappear, or at least become so small that we can pretty much ignore it. When I look at the word fear, I see false evidence appearing real. Then I closely look at what I'm afraid of, the what if, and then I say, so what? So what can I do about it? And finally, I act as if I had all the confidence in the world to do it. And this last part is so important, because that's where we convince our mind that what we are saying is true, and we can, in fact, do it. And our mind listens to us, and it will help us achieve it. In my book, Living an Abundant Life, I talk about my wild dream project when I was an instructional designer and wanted to get computer-based training into the company where I was working. Yes, computer-based training. The internet was not invented yet. I had a trial run in 2 locations, and the results were very impressive. I had the data to show that this one program could add revenue to the bottom line. But the company had financial issues, and to run the program enterprise-wide meant that I needed $3 million. I was told by the finance people that my chances of getting this much money wasn't even slight. It would not happen. So I played my what-if game. My manager had already approached his director, who got me an interview with one of the executives. I had a presentation to do, and I knew how much money I needed. What if? I was told the money wasn't there, like the finance person said it wasn't. What if the executive said, "Great idea, but it's not going to happen this year"? So what? So what could I do about it? I could offer a plan B. I could counter by asking for 1/3 of the amount, just $1 million. Good plan, I thought. And of course, I played this through plan C, plan D, plan E, hoping that I wouldn't have to go through all the letters of the alphabet, but knowing that I was not going to take no for an answer. Now, I started acting as if. When my manager asked me a question about the project, I would answer him as if we were already awarded the money. I ran reports and made projections based on the entire amount that I needed. The day of the meeting, both my manager and director were pacing the halls like an expectant father. I was fine. They couldn't figure it out, but then I never told them about my alternate plans either. The meeting went smoothly. I did my demonstration and explained the benefits of computer-based training. When it came to the amount of money needed, the executive looked at me and said, "It's a great project, but we just can't do $3 million right now." Without blinking my eye, I went into plan B. I walked out of the room with $1 million for the next phase of the project. All by looking at the fear, confronting the what if with a "so what can I do," and acting as if I already had the money. Let's look at our 3 examples. This position is in your current company, but you're afraid. What if you don't get this position? So what can you do to prepare yourself? Do you need to take any courses, learn new skills, brush up on some other skills? Look at the job description and be prepared to explain or show examples from your current work how your skills could be used. Now start acting as if you already have that position. Don't say things like, "Well, if I were in that position," that won't help you at all. But rather start acting with confidence on every project you're currently working on, so your enthusiasm will be noticed. Now go in for that interview and act as if that job is already yours. Speak with confidence and determination. And if the unthinkable happens and you don't get it, use this experience when applying for the next position. Now how about that garden you'd like to do? What if you plant a garden and it doesn't do well? So what can you do to have a beautiful garden? Do some research before you purchase the flowers or seeds. Make sure the flowers you purchase are suitable for your location. Maybe take a course or see if there's a master gardener class in your area. Educate yourself and get a support system in place where you can ask questions if the garden isn't doing well. Now, with this knowledge and confidence, you can act as if you are a great gardener. You will know what plants to plant, what flowers are good for your area, and you'll understand how to take care of them. Your garden will look as if it stepped out of a magazine. Finally, let's visit with that person who wants to take up golf. What if you try? What if you play poorly? You know that you're a beginner. So ask yourself, what can I do before going out with my friends? Take a few lessons? Watch some good golfers and study them? Visualize yourself playing the game and playing well. And when you go out on that course, act as if you can play, because you really can. If you convince your mind through visualization and feel sure of yourself, you will do much better than if you made up a lot of excuses about being a beginner, getting used to the clubs, and all those other reasons that we use. Someone once said, you have to fake it till you make it. I say, believe in yourself. Ask yourself, so what can I do? And then act as if you already have done it and you will be able to do it. Maybe even better than you thought. A few episodes ago, we talked about the power of I am. Use those affirmations along with acting as if. When you say, I am loving, think about how a loving person would act, and then act that way. When you say, I am joy, act in a joyful manner. And when you say, I am peace, act peacefully. There are a lot of people less qualified than you doing the things you want to do simply because they decided to believe in themselves. Act as if. Believe you can, and you will. Share with us, either in the comments below or a PM, how acting as if took you to a new level of confidence, a new level of being. And I'll see you next week, right here on Dragonfly Soup. Here's to our transformation and our best year ever.